And Scratch was a pretty tough taskmaster in the net practice, wasn't he?
Yeah. Him, Gary Howgate was another one. Didn't like facing him. Too fast, too mad. But Scratch was, he was pretty quick.
But he used to tell anyone off if they were mucking around. And
he was pretty strict, Scratch.
Yes, yeah.
Still is.
Yeah. But he was a great influence over a lot of the younger guys.
Him and John Berricrete, who coached Preston, he was very good. He was a very good coach, Johnny. And he used to take her aside. And same with Hobbs, Greg Hobber, the greatest coach Preston's ever had, and he was a great influence on everyone. Greg, he'd help everyone. So, and his record speaks for itself. Sensational.
The great man,
Eddie, yeah.
Did he have much of an influence on you in terms of your education as a bowler?
Yeah. When I went down to Preston, I didn't know what he was like a wild man from Borneo, Ed, but he's a lovely man, and. I played Sunday cricket. Greg Hobber was my best mate at the time and said, you should come down on a Sunday afternoon and play for Heidelberg. So I went down there and Eddie played on these Sundays. So Eddie goes, come on, come down. So I went down there. So Eddie opens the bowling and first ball he trips over the mat and down he goes along the mat. And all it was just his stomach. Just had dirt all over it. He wiped himself off, back to the mark. There he goes, took 5. A great man, Eddie. An unbelievable player. Yeah. Unbelievable player.
Well, you would have seen some amazing players at Preston through the 70s, the 80s, and then some really great players in the 90s, Ravi and
Ravi, yeah.
Rowan and
one that stands out, we had a little little Sri Lankan guy called Gamini Pereira.
Yeah.
And his first game was in the seconds. And Hobbs was obviously captain coach. So Gam played his first game. Nort was wicket keeping. And Gam took, I think he took 5 and made 30 odd. And after Gamini's first over, I said to Nort, are you picking his wrong? And he goes, I've got no idea. So I said to Gam, when you're going to bowl the wrong one, just put 2 fingers out so Brian knows which way it's going to turn. So we got back to Preston at night and Greg said, this Pereira, Gamini, he did all right. I said, no, scratchy 30 and didn't bowl all that well. Got 5, and we wanted to keep him because he was so good. And then the next match, I think he got 70 and 3 wickets and Hobbs was awake to us, so he never come back to us again. A great player, Gam. Yeah. And a really, really nice guy. Great guy.
Yeah. And Rowan?
Rowan.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was. I just love watching him. I was, used to watch him at net practice, and then we went out on the ground a lot of times, and we had the oval to ourselves, and he was just unbelievable, right? Just the best player I've seen.
Right.
Yeah, he just had so much time, and a very modest guy too. Like he'd make 600 or 700 runs just about every year, and but he'd be the first one to come to the nets and help you, or he's just a great guy, right? Very, very good player. Great player.
Yeah, and we had some other fantastic players through that period that you were there. Kevin Lowe.
Lowe played his first game in the 2s at Melbourne Uni, and he was the same. I think he got 30 odd, took a couple, and the same again. I don't know whether Greg was coach then, but same. We tried to keep Lowe, but we couldn't get him. And his record's phenomenal at Preston. Oh God. Yeah. The other guy that was with Preston was Sean Brown.
Yeah.
His record at Preston was unbelievable. He was a good mate of mine, and I said to Greg and Robbo, you should have a word to this guy. I think he was playing with Hawthorn East Melbourne, and I used to knock around with Doggy for a few years. So I said, come down to Preston. I'm there. Hobbs was there, Greg. So we went to, I think the Bundoora Hotel. So there was Greg Hobber, Dave Robinson, myself, and Brownie walks in. So we had him sign before Robbo was running late. So Greg and I had talked him into, yep, we'll give you this, no worries. Brownie's happy. We had a beer waiting for Robbo. Robbo comes in, how'd you go? Yeah, we'll give you that much. Robbo, we've already signed him, now you're giving him an extra 2,000. So Brownie goes, I'm glad this guy turned up. And Sean was unbelievable. Yeah. Like captain coach, his record was, I think he won 6 or 7 batting averages, bowling averages, and he was great. But the worst thing I did, I left the following year. So Brownie didn't speak to me for a year. I went to his wedding, and he said, "You bastard, you left." But yeah, he turned out a great player for Preston.
How old were you when you gave it away at Preston?
I think about 43, 42, 43.
Yeah.
My last game at Preston was, I think Brett Lewis was captain. And it was the last game of the year. And I think Louis and I in the second innings put on 178. And it's fifth wicket, it's still the record now.
Right.
Yeah.
Gee whiz.
Yeah, that was my last innings. It was 60, I think you got 62, the last innings ever for Preston.
Right.
So it was a good way to leave.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And you didn't give cricket away, you went down to...
Preston YCW.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bobby Island had been trying to get me for a few years down there to... My best mate, Phil Jobling, he was down there, so I eventually said, I've done everything I can here. Bobby Island kept ringing me, so I went down there, played there for 3 or 4 years, and a great club, really good. And Bobby and Lorraine, who passed away a year or so ago, they just loved the club.
Yeah.
And I loved playing for them. You know, they just a great bunch of guys, similar to Preston, played hard, partied hard, and they were good blokes. Like in the 5 years, I think we made finals 3, but never ever won one.
Yeah. But
we got close. But yeah, it's, in hindsight, I would have liked to go there a few years younger when I was probably a bit better than what I was towards 43, 44.
Yeah.
I was probably at the end of it then. But yeah, Joker cricket was, I didn't really realise how good it was. Like, had guys, you know, that would just dominate. A guy named David Plumpton, who played for Victoria, played for Fitzroy for 10 or 12 years.
Good footballer too.
Yeah, he just smashed out 700, 800, and you just didn't realise how good these guys were. But yeah, it was good fun down there.
Going back to Preston, who was the best player you saw at Preston?
Batting would have to be Rowan.
Rowan,
Yeah.
best bowler?
I think Ian Murray or Gary Moore.
Right.
Gary Moore was a great bowler.
He was.
He just never bowled wide of the wicket.
No.
And Ian Murray, surprisingly for Ian's height, he was rather quick. Yeah. He'd just come straight on you, and those two are really good. But look, Eddie was. John Berrick was great. They had so many good players.
Yeah.
Huge.
Best fielder?
Phil Jobling's very good. I think we played a game in the seconds at Caulfield. He 5 run-outs. Phil got direct hits.
Gee whiz.
And he would have got a 6th, only Billy Muir was standing in front of the stumps and hit his leg. Otherwise, I think it would have been 6. But yeah, Phil was great. Johnny Hodges, Kenny Gostray, Wacker. Yeah. They were all good, very good Phils with baseball background. And yeah, it always helped. You know, whenever you played baseball, you always had a good arm. And you know, playing against the likes of Brunswick, Coburg, who we played against every year, you know, all of us, you know, would occasionally, most of the times, feel on the boundary because of our arms, and you'd hear them all yell out from the stand, "Don't run!" And then some of them would just take you on, and you just throw them out by 3 or 4 yards. Yeah. But a lot of them, once they'd seen us, they said, "Don't run," and you didn't. But you get the ones who think they can, but bad luck.
Bad luck. That's right. Who was the funniest bloke you played with?
Oh, Nord would have to be up there.
Tell us a few of his stories.
What was one? Forget the ground. It was him and Rowan Porpelite, and all of a sudden this swarm of bees went across the ground, and Rowan says to Brian, "Swarm, swarm." And Nord goes, "I know it's swarm." "No, swarm of bees." And everyone's just ducking for cover. That was funny. But, yeah, Nord would have to be up there. Chipper's good value. Phil, they're all just good blokes. Albert Omagrosso, I love Albert. He's a funny man. Yeah.
Who did you love playing against?
Brunswick.
Yeah.
Yeah. They were our arch enemy, not only first and seconds. You know, like the first who I'd seen, you know, I wasn't in, but the first seemed to make the finals a lot. When I was younger, we'd go and watch, and it was always Preston and Brunswick. And then the seconds followed on. You know, I think out of the 5 finals, I think we played them 3 and beat them 3.
Right.
And I I forget the guy, Bobby Carpenter,
Bobby,
I think, was captain of the seconds.
Yeah.
And we used to say, you got the same speech as last year, Bobby? I think every time we played him in the grand final, we beat him.
Right.
And the first, they were our rivals.
Yeah.
Yeah, without doubt.
Yeah,
for
great
sure.
club.
Yeah, very good club and good blokes.
Yeah.
Whether we play over there, we play at Preston, we'd stay for at least 2 or 3 hours and no one would leave. Everyone, knew everyone, loved everyone, had a beer together, but they were good blokes and they were a good side. We just had the better of them.
Yeah.
And I think the first were very similar.
Yeah.
They were good rivals.
Yeah. What was your best performance?
Batting wise?
Yeah.
Never ever made 100, Preston. I got, I think the highest was 82 not out in the seconds. And I think Ian Murray was captain. He declared with an hour to go.
Right.
And I think Keesey was up the other end. I think he was a few. We walked off, said, there's still an hour. Yeah, 82 not out was the highest. Bowling, I think I took, might have been maybe a couple of sixes. That was about it. A few fives, but yeah, 82 not out. Never ever made 100.
Right. Pretty hard to make 100 at Preston in the first 20 years that you were probably there. Yeah.
But that was the highest, 82 not out. And I still never forgive Nakas for declaring with an hour to go. But it was a good fun. It was all the sake of the team, not us.
Yeah. Now, behind every good man is a good woman, and you've had Kerry.
Kerry,
you've been
my
married a
lovely
long
wife,
time.
20 years, yes.
She's been around the club in various capacities over the years.
Yeah, she's helped out a lot. Her and Gail Jobling are best friends. So Gail was down there for years with the Jean Litter kids and all them doing the afternoon teas. And yeah, Kerry come down for a while, but she's 20 years of marriage. She's a beauty. Yeah,
and you're in business.
Yeah. I work for a place called Derby's Brake and Clutch in Plenty Road Reservoir. The owner sold it 3 years ago, so Kerry and myself and the next door neighbours, we bought it. So anyone wants their brakes, clutches or services done on the car, 20% discount if you mention Peter Cawthan.
Fantastic. So that's Derby's Brake and
Clutch, 683 Plenty Road Reservoir, right near the Rose Shamrock Hotel.
Fantastic. I remember when you got your apprenticeship there, wasn't it?
Melbourne Clutch and Brake, which is down in High Street.
Okay,
yeah. Went there 17 years and then worked for Derb for 26 and now we own it.
Wow. And it's going okay?
Go well. Going good. Yeah, good business.
Yeah. What do you do outside of business?
We don't do. We try and I follow a lot of Andrew Bennett's cricket, and he's a really good friend of mine. And when he was at Plenty Valley and a couple other clubs, and we used to go watch him a lot. But we don't do much now. We're getting a bit older now, and we just tend to Phil and Gail and Kerry and myself just catch up Saturdays, and we try and watch Andrew as much as we can. But the four of us just stick together each Saturday night and go out and have a bit of fun and. We don't go into town, don't do any of that anymore, so just stick to ourselves, and that's probably much. We don't do much now.
And you're in good health?
Very good.
Yeah, because you look pretty fit.
Yeah, doing all right.
Yeah, you haven't put on any weight.
I've lost weight. I lost about 5 kilos. Kerry's put me on a diet, because Kerry's niece is getting married in a couple of weeks, so I had to lose a couple of kilos, so that was all good.
Yeah. Pete, we're at the end of time. It's been indeed a fantastic conversation with you, but truly you have been one of the great people at Preston, one of the greatest actually. You're up there with them, and your contribution, 400 games, life membership, every training, used to set up the training for the coaches.
Yes, true.
Particularly Hobbs, and you've continued to support the club with the 1860 club and so on. So thank you very much, Peter, for your contribution, and it's great to see you again.
Thank you, mate. Thank you, mate. Pleasure. Thank you.
Good on you, mate.
Thank you.